Good morning, Philadelphia, and all of the ships at sea. This is your girl, Amber E, with the piping hot tea. This is my tea. What's yours? Do you ever get entrenched in your own theme music? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but again, Nat King Cole actually composes the Tea for Two that you hear in my intro. Picture me upon a knee, tea for two and two for tea. There are quite a few renditions of it. Ella Fitzgerald's is also quite good. Shameless plug. My rendition is also pretty good. I'm going to be at Malawanda Cafe on Monday. I digress. But long short of it, it's something about Nat King Cole's version that just gets me in. And even though it's instrumental, knowing that the Nat King Cole trio is legendary forever and always just gets me going. Speaking of getting me going, I am really excited about today's tea with Amber E. I really hope that you all are ready to sip the tea with me. To Marvin, my Uber driver, thank you very much for getting me here in a very good headspace, because not all Uber rides are created equally, if you know what I mean. So thank you very much for that. And also, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that tonight, there is a lot happening here at G-Town Radio. There is, first of all, starting at 6 p.m., we are having our window installation here at G-Town. And again, long short of it, I've talked about this on Tea with Amber E quite a few times, because this is something that rotates pretty quarterly. But long short of it, there is going to be quite fun this evening. It's called All Roads Lead Back to G-Town Radio. It's a window installation, opening reception. And again, we want to actually, if you go to our Facebook page, there's quite a bit of information about it. It's centered around a piece that a photographer, writer, and community engaged artist, Tishka K. Smith, created about 11 years ago, called #Racism is a Sickness. And it's actually coming back here to G-Town. And again, it's going to be where the project began. It's now called #10 Years of Racism is a Sickness. And it's going to be a 4-year artist residency that revisits the original project through the lens of time, place, memory, and community. And again, anchoring the residency is the aforementioned window installation. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a 3-panel map that's going to trace the journeys that the original participants, because again, I peeped part of it this morning. If you look at the actual photographs, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it is a visual demonstration of people who, I'll put it this way, expressed the ugliness of racism and how we as a community need to come together to heal. And child, if there were ever a time where we need to do that, somebody say it's today. Yeah, I heard you, it's fine. But yeah, it's going to bring back that same demonstration, if you will, I'm using that term loosely, so that we can see how far we've come and talk about how much further we need to go as a community, as a people, as a human race, as a country, as a world. We ain't done yet. I am not going to sound like a pessimist this morning, AmFam, but what I will say is that I do think that in the event, I'll give us a little bit of wiggle room. In the event that it gets worse before it gets better, talking about everything that entails the things we need to heal from, even if it means we gotta do like the surgeons do and scrape out all the nasty gunk and maybe even cauterize the wounds, so to speak. Let's do it. Because if we keep staying so isolated, my dears, that's all that'll happen. We'll either heal in pockets, or we'll only be a flash in the pan, and then in 4 or 5 years, it'll be like, oh yeah, we did the thing once, we marched once, we talked once, we did a coalition. Thank you, Reverend Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. Yeah, we did the thing. This is an ongoing dialogue, y'all. And so what we're gonna have to remember to do is continue being honest and making safe spaces for each other so that we can continue to heal. I've used this analogy more than once on Tea with Amber E, and I'm going to use it again for the sake of this conversation that I can hear you having with me. I hear y'all. It's all good. I have my teacher ears on. But I don't know if I think that the boulder of racism, if you will, is going to go anywhere. But what I do, because again, it's had so much momentum for so many years. It's been rolling for a long time. Good morning, cousin. Thank you for watching. There's been so much momentum for so many years that I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. However, do I believe that in doing things like tonight's art presentation that's going to be here for a while, y'all. If you miss it tonight, don't mean it's going nowhere for a couple of months. So there's no excuse. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, ding. regardless of the boulder rolling down the hill, not losing momentum, do I believe that in doing things like this, having conversations like this, enjoying tea with each other like this, that we can minimize the casualties? Yes, very much so. I do believe that. And so long short of it, AmFam, if you don't do nothing else but come out to Maplewood Mall, because you know this part of Philadelphia is always, and you know I don't like absolutes, always popping. Come see your girl. Come say hello. I will be the one with the red lip going, hey, yes, Ruby Woo. Hallelujah. Thank you, Mac. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, as you can see, I'm in a really good place this morning, AmFam. Today's tea was a last minute change. I was going to go with a regular black tea. For those of you who don't know, I do have a YouTube channel where I do upload Tea with Amber E episodes. And long short of it, when I was editing it last week's episode and seeing how happy and excited I was over a cup of regular black tea, no cream, no lemon, little bit of sugar, it was like, oh yes, it feels like a hug. And with the week that I've had AmFam, I've been getting all the hugs, so to speak, from all the teas. I even cracked open my mother's old tea sets and just indulged and maybe had a little bit too much cream. Darn it, I know. Again, I might have left a bag in an Uber ride and it's okay. But long short of it, and it had cream in it, but I digress. But long short of it, today I was like, you know what? And as much as I would like to do a black tea, I'm going to pivot to the lemon and ginger. I think I want something that's going to have more of a natural hue, so to speak. I'm using a lot of so to speaks here and a lot of metaphors, go figure. But in any event, y'all, I just wanted to take a minute and let the ginger do what the ginger do, let the lemon do, let the herbal do. And I have to be in a certain mood to be in an herbal space. Y'all know your girl likes her black teas, so I'm hoping that however you're enjoying your tea this morning, it's doing good things for you. Be that a black tea, be that, again, green tea is part of the black tea family. Be that a black tea, be that an herbal, however you're being you doing coffee. It's not beyond me that the AmFam, everybody in the AmFam does not drink tea. I still love you. It's all good. Either way, AmFam, I hope that you're enjoying your morning. And I'm so glad that you're enjoying it with me. Y'all ready to get started? Because your girl is ready to get started. Spoons up, AmFam. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Round and round's a dreadful show. Back and forth is how we go. From 6 to 12 and back again. Back and forth to stay within. Un tiempo más, familia. Round and round's a dreadful show. Back and forth is how we go. From 6 to 12 and back again. Back and forth to stay within. And for those who can't see what I'm doing, I'm actually pushing my spoon back and forth to get the good stuff at the bottom of my teacup back and forth, opposed to spinning it around. Yes, the vortex is nice to watch, but I like to get the good stuff at the bottom. So I'm going to take my tea break at 8:09 on the second Saturday morning in August. We made it to August, AmFam. How did they do it? Gee whiz. I'm going to give you a topic. Today's topic is, it is possible to heal together. It is possible to heal together. Discuss. Keep talking. I'm here. I'm just having my tea moment. Yep. Yes, that's what I needed. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we're going twice for that. That's so yummy. That's delicious. Again, I'm a black tea girl. I love my black teas. I prefer them over my herbals, but I'm glad that I trusted my instincts and went with an herbal today, and I'm going to tell you why. I do believe that everything we need is in the earth. That's just me. Again, I listen to my body. I like holistic remedies. I also am practical and realistic about healing in some capacities, but I do believe, genuinely speaking, that everything you need is in the earth. And sometimes, you know, if you need to get your fresh ginger, you need to get your fresh lemon, look, it makes a world of difference to your soul. I love that tea, and it's just Am talking for a second. I love that tea feels like a warm hug from an old friend. Just a warm hug from an old friend. I love it. I love it, AmFam. I really do. I really do hope that you are enjoying your morning. I know I've said it a couple of times, but it's something about getting on Tea with Amber A here at G-Town Radio. Knowing that you are listening on the airwaves, you'll listen back on the archives, and I am just so thankful that you decide to spend it with me, avec moi. My dear AmFam, this one's going to be interesting because I've been watching and keeping an ear to the ground, so to speak, about what the tea is right now that I wanted to show up. First thing being, I I wanted to make sure that for those of you who follow me on the Tea with Amber E Facebook page, I saw a couple of comments where I was talking about last week's episode and Tuskegee University's enforcement of not allowing durags and satin bonnets to class, but really putting emphasis on more of professional attire. I saw a couple of comments where folks, some people were saying, okay, so I had to look at what a bonnet was. This is just for me. Good morning, Claire. Thank you for watching. How you doing? I just did want to mention, because again, that's just, do I wear a bonnet to sleep every night? Unapologetically so, because it keeps your girl's hair moisturized. Hello. Again, good morning, Bam. I love you. I love my people. But again, a lot of y'all may already know this, but for those of us who may not, satin bonnets are meant to, I'm speaking as someone who uses one, they're meant to hold in moisture while we sleep. Again, my hair is 4C, and so that means that it holds in a lot of moisture, but it can also dry out very quickly. So when I wear my satin bonnet to bed, and also contingent on what kind of pillows I have or pillowcases, that can mean that cotton, for example, will draw out moisture from my hair. And so the reason that I wear my satin bonnet is because it keeps the moisture in my hair, and I know that when I don't wear it, I can definitely feel a difference. It's kind of like when I don't moisturize in the morning, you know, when I don't have my royal jelly regime going. It's like, oh, I didn't put anything on my face today. No, even if I don't put on primer and makeup, etc., so on and so forth, I can definitely feel a difference when I don't moisturize. And so a satin bonnet kind of keeps the same principle for me, where it's holding in moisture and it also holds in my style. So let's say I'm doing, this might be TMI, but it's all right. We family. It's all good. Let's say I'm doing a pin curl for my hair, or I'm doing a twist out for my hair. Not only does it keep my hair moisturized, but it's a good way to keep my style set in. Or if you're using a scarf like I'm wearing right now, this is a satin scarf I'm wearing underneath my hat, and thank you for the compliment for the hat. Thank you, Bam. Again, that's really meant to lock in moisture. Do-rags have been used to keep styles in for people who may wear braids. It's also a cultural expression. And so, as I said last week, I'm not knocking the cultural necessity of the bonnet and the do-rag, but I will say, as an educator in my own right, and here I'm going to even be more transparent, back when I was teaching over at Russell Byers Charter School in 19th and Arch, hey, how y'all doing? There was a protocol for a uniform. It was, hey guys, make sure your pants are up, make sure that your ties are set, and again, I can't fix your tie for you because I can't touch a student like that, but what I will do is have someone in security say, hey, this young person needs to have their tie on point. Come on, this is a uniform that you're wearing that says to the outside who you represent. And that's kind of where I'm at with what's happening at Tuskegee. Again, it's still part of the dialogue. There's a wonderful article that Ebony Magazine wrote about it. But long short of it, I'm so sorry. Long short of it, let me turn this up a little bit. What I will say is that I understand where Tuskegee is coming from. I get it. If you are dressing for a job, there is a uniform that's necessary. If you do not want to wear a certain look, either talk to your boss about it or reconsider if this job is for you. I don't want to throw shade. I'm going to have an auntie moment though for a second. This is what the job calls for. The job that is being a professional student at Tuskegee University calls for professional looks so that when you go out into the real world, not only do you have the training, but you also have a mindset that no matter what, someone is always watching me. And so I really do get both sides of this argument, but for the sake of the tea, which I'm going to sip again. Oh, so delicious. Oh, thank you. Thank you, tea people. All right. But for the sake of argument, I really do get that putting emphasis on professional presentation is important. Dress for the job you want. You are not going to wear a cocktail dress to the doctor's office if the job calls for scrubs. You may be able to get the work done, but it's going to say, does this person work here? You may need to, again, I'm going to put on, well, maybe not that particular example. I was going to talk about Lindy Hop for a second. I've been watching a lot of swing dancing things, but that's not here nor there at this point. The long and short of it is, dress for the job that you want. What do your clothes say about you? The pride and the dignity about being sharp and tailored says so much, and I love it. And so I just wanted to make sure that, since I saw in some comments from last week where people were definitely listening, but they were like, okay, what is the bonnet thing? What is the do-rag thing? What is so on and so forth? I really do hope that there's more understanding of that. And again, Ebony Magazine wrote a very compelling article about both Tuskegee and the cultural response or the nationwide response, part of the dialogue about what is or isn't necessary for attire in class. Wear a scarf to class. I'm wearing one right now. I'm just saying. Teacher moment. Hat back on. All right. For those of us who do know, and I've talked about this quite a few times as an educator, the school year is approaching, my dears. Brace yourselves. Okay, fellow educators, I hear you. I see you. I love you. I'm saying that because there have been some, I know it's in jest. I get it. We laughing. Oh my goodness, the school year is starting again. Oh, can AmFam, who's watching online, can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because someone asked if the volume is down low. If you're watching online, just make sure that, give me a thumbs up. But anyway, I know that a lot of us are enjoying the rest. We got the sleep. There's something wonderful about making sure that when the alarm goes off at 7 a.m., you're not late. It's like, oh wait, it's August. It's 7 a.m. I don't have to be up right now. Woohoo. But I do want to say one thing. You've got this, fellow educators. And I know that professional development might have you asking questions like, okay, everyone, what is your why? Why do you show up when your students are giving you attitude? Why do you feel the need to not, I get it. It can be a little like, look, we don't got to go through all these changes. I just want to keep my lights on and make sure that the stuff's in on time. But I do want to say this to you. Thank you, guys. I do want to say this to you. There is something very powerful about being a teacher, an educator in any capacity. And I want you to know going into the school year that you've got this. I know there are going to come days where somebody ain't going to show up and somebody contingent on what district you're teaching in or what school you're at, so on and so forth. You ain't my mama. You can't tell me what to do. I mean, again, we've all heard it in one way or the other. I want you to know with your students, educator to educator, AmFam, listen to me. And this is not just for my teachers, but this is for you too. You have a superpower that someone doesn't even know they need to interact with in this school year, even if it's for one student, even if it's just for one of them, you've got it. And so, yes, I know that these first couple weeks of prep are taxing. Yes, I know that we may not have all the decorations for our classrooms that we want. Yes, I know that somebody might jump ship at the very end and might need a year-long sub. I get all those things, but let me tell you something. When you show up and you show out, they know you love them. So remember that for those of you who are not teachers, we're going to please pay attention to us. We may come home, the school day may be over at 3-ish, 3:20 in some schools. But again, we may lean on you this year. There's a lot of things that have happened. We're still trying to figure out how to navigate what happened with Nolan Wells. And I do want to bring one thing up. One thing I've been following this week was an article. I'm sorry. And I mentioned this, albeit briefly, last week. I wanted to bring up something that I've noticed. So for those of you who know who Miss Rachel is, and again, I brought this up last week, Miss Rachel, she is a YouTube educator. She's a YouTube personality that has spoken out quite a bit against what's been happening, who's been demanding justice, and she's lost some followers. And I wanted to say outright that I really respect what she's been doing. I am thankful that she has been hashtag speak the truth. Speak the truth. Y'all know how we do here on TV with Amber E. But I really wanted to put emphasis on that because there's something so bold about seeing injustice and saying, look, not for me, not for my house, no matter who it is. As a matter of fact, there was an article that Forbes magazine wrote about it, when I'm paraphrasing here, where she talked about how her sister was pivotal in reminding her, look, if I am going to be an educator, even if it's from behind a computer screen or on a YouTube channel, I need to make sure that all the kids that I am teaching about not just their ABCs, but about life need to know that we stand up for everyone. And that's the whole point of my episode today, that no matter how we approach this, this, you need to remember that we need to bring folk along who may not know how to articulate what's actually happening, or need someone to have the words or the actions to really say, look, I am seeing the stuff out here and I'm paralyzed by it, or I'm afraid of facing it head on, or maybe, just maybe, I don't have the words for it. I'm letting you know that when we come together and we sharpen each other like iron sharpens iron, and someone may not be able to articulate it, but they can do an amazing window display that shows 10 years of seeing that racism is not healthy. Therein lies the healing. That's what I'm saying this morning, AmFam. That's what I'm saying when I gave the analogy of the boulder rolling down the hill. It's not going to go anywhere, but guess what? What we can do, like the Miss Rachels of the world, like the AmFams of the world, like all of the communities that really are looking for change in the healthiest way, is say we can minimize the number of casualties regarding those who have lost hope. And this is not anger. This is passion. Just putting that out there for the sake of emphasis, family. Like, you angry, Amber? I'm not happy, but I am passionate about this. And so I really just wanted to say for Miss Rachel, thank you for being one of the people who may not be part of the community, but see the injustice in the community and saying, I stand with you. I just wanted you to know that I appreciate you taking the hits. And again, she's even made it known, like, if you, and again, I'm paraphrasing, the people who might be dropping off, I may not be the person that you need to support. I'm sorry, I don't know if I want your support anyway, because if you're looking at what's happening and you're okay with it, it's like, I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. So again, as we are looking to get more and more information about what's happened in Nolan Wells, I'll do my best to keep you all alert. There was also something that I saw on Be a King's social media platform, Be a King being Dr. Beatrice A. King. Ooh, excuse me, Bernice, shame on me. Sorry about that. Dr. Bernice King, who is not only the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, youngest child, but she is an advocate and a woman of faith in her own right. I saw that she had posted on her social media that there was a pretty gruesome display in Jackson, Mississippi about a woman named Tasia Fortune's death. I'm going to ask you guys to look it up because I don't want us to jump to conclusions. But again, her name is Tasia Fortune. This is your homework for the week. I want you to look it up, fam, because this is not good. And there is an investigation. Ongoing officials have not commented on potential foul play or suspected ending of her own life, but she was found hanging from a tree behind a vacant residence in Jackson, Mississippi this past Monday. And again, there's an article on People, I'm going to post it on my social media too. There was an article in People magazine about this, a very in-depth article about the 29-year-old Black woman. And again, there's still ongoing investigation about what's going on out there. I almost want to jump to conclusions myself. I'm waiting for more information. I'm keeping my ear to the ground, and I'm asking for us to make sure that as we're doing more research, we're not going, this is what happened, this is what happened. Look, let's keep digging like we're digging Nolan Wells, like we're looking for answers. Let's see what's going on. I do not know what shaking has taken place now that things are becoming more and more open out there. Again, the problems really have never gone anywhere. It's just, I think that with the current administration overtly saying and doing some pretty unpretty things. Sit moment with my tea. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. With the, yeah, that was my teacup going. Sorry about that. No, I'm not. With the current administration making things very overt, unapologetic, and saying and doing things that really aren't cute. And I'm trying to be as politically correct as I can. I think what's happening is that there have been levels to this since before the dawn of time. And because of that, I think, because of that, I think that there's a emphasis on those levels showing their ugly heads. So it may not be one person's expression of the hatred or the disdain or the segregation, but there are levels to this. So someone may go to another level that you may not go to, and it's like, oh my goodness gracious. All I'm saying, AmFam, is I'm going to keep my ear to the ground about this. I'm going to ask for questions and answers. Good morning, Barry. Thank you for watching. And I do hope that we come together and we continue to have these dialogues. We continue to celebrate each other. And I don't mean like in a naive, holding hands, swaying back and forth, we shall overcome just for the sake of showing up kind of way. Like, okay, I'm doing my due diligence. We did Hands Across America back in the 80s. It's all good now. But more like a genuine love for your neighbor, where the Miss Rachels and the Amber Eves of the world, I'm just using that particular example, can get together and say, look, there's a mother. As a matter of fact, Miss Rachel actually reached out to Nolan Wells' mother directly. She did. There's a mother who's lost a child, and she's looking for answers. Let's help her find those answers, because that's another human being whose heart is broken. And as a fellow human being, shouldn't it be innate for me to want to heal and help them do it too? I mean, it's common sense, right? Common knowledge, correct? At the end of the day, that's what we can do to help one another. So I'm not approaching this from a naive perspective, but I am saying it can be done. There may be loss and casualties, but we've learned from history that that is kind of par for the course. Again, the aforementioned Dr. King, he was assassinated at 39. I'm not throwing that out there for anybody, but what I am saying is we can do this if we come together. The numbers show historically that when we come together and we push back against the oppression, we push back against the fear, we push back against the ugly, I mean the real ugly, let's call Norman Wells' mother and say and do some things ugly, like, are you kidding me? That kind of ugly. At least when we don't just see it and shake our heads and go, did you hear about, look about? It's like, no, how do we use what we do anyway, which is talk to one another and fix it? That's what I'm saying, AmFam. So I really do think that this week, I'm saying this in the kindest way I can, as we learn more about Tasia Fortune, as we even again, I'm encouraging you again to come out to see this exhibit here at G-Town Radio. This really is the root of what I'm talking about. There are spaces where we can see that racism is still a sickness and talk, where these are the conversations that we may not be able to have at the workspace or have at the dinner table or what have you, but there are places where we can ask genuine questions, not out of rudeness, not out of being disrespectful, but really just wanting to know more, so once we do learn more, we can do better. That's what I'm saying. So this is my long drawn out way of saying that today is a day where if you want to come out around 6-ish, I myself am going to be coming from another event, so I'm not going to be there at 6. I'll get there around 7 o'clock, so on and so forth. If you want to come out this evening for a good old time, see the exhibit. It's going to be here for the next couple of months, but there's nothing like the first night. It's not like opening night, if you know what I mean. So if you want to come out, I highly encourage it. There will be time to look and ask questions. This is the invitation. This is me officially saying, yeah, I'll be looking for you. Will I be there at 6? Again, coming from another event. But will I be there around 7-ish? Yes. So my dears, I know that's a lot, but that is the world that we live in. And what I want you to remember, I'll see you there too, Gary. Hey. But I know that's a lot to swallow, but I do this so that we can have these conversations throughout the week and we can remember how powerful we are when we come together, and how that really is a force that those pushing against it in the universe can say, oh, wait, we can't just get away with this, can we? No, you can't, honey, because the AmFam come correct. I said what I said, with love and with hope. That really is my mantra as an educator, as a Black woman, as a radio host, as a member of this community. We're going to be all right. I know it's a lot. I know. But we're going to be okay. I wholeheartedly, 100% categorically believe that. I'm keeping you in my heart and my prayers, good people. We going to be okay. Over tea, if nothing else. And good food. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Have a good week, AmFam. Good morning, Bill. I've got you. You've got me. We've got this. Love and light to you all. Peace.